Wir haben nun allerdings eine Aufrüstung vollzogen, wie die Welt sie noch nicht gesehen hat.
Instead, now we have armed to such an extent as the world has never before seen.
Certainly growing up as a young boy, there were actually very few stories about my grandfather. There were a couple of photographs on the wall, that type of thing. I knew he was a soldier, and I knew he was killed, and I knew he died young. That was about all I knew. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, rummaging through the house looking for stamps, and we had this old cedar chest that had been at our house for a long time. And within that cedar chest were hundreds of letters, and as a young boy I had no idea of what the consequence of those letters were. I just started ripping the stamps off them and put them in my stamp collection. And it wasn't until, I believe it was like a Christmas period of 1995, so I would have been 36 years old at that time, and people start talking about families, and somebody said, you know, aren't those letters still down in the cedar trunk? Nobody had looked at them. Nobody wanted to look at them.
I could never read the letters because they were so emotional for me. I'd just break into tears every time I pick them up.
Letters, I think, tell a story in a way that's unique, and that is when they're written, they capture the emotion of the time. When he was in pain, he wrote about his pain. When he was in his sorrow, he wrote about his sorrow. That's an emotion that just relives because it's in his handwriting.
All we wanted was him to come back, and he didn't come back because he was fighting a war.
But I knew on looking at the first one, the story of my grandfather and how he wrote, that there was a tremendous narrative in there. In completing this journey of putting a book together, it's a question of taking a box of letters, transcribing them, feeling and experiencing the journey of my grandfather. And when I look back on it, I realize how honored I was